we can do rule outs with just about anything. It's traditionally done with food, but it can be done with food in hand, food on the ground. It can be done with a toy in hand. You know, there's all sorts of ways of saying, I want you to come to this decision on your own. And when you do, I'm going to reward you for that, which is basically what the rule out is.
Right.
So the rudimentary rule out is having a little bit of food in your hand and just showing it to the puppy. So with an open palm, you would just show it to the puppy or the dog. And if they move forward to take it, which is a natural inclination,
Right.
it's what they're going to do.
Right. If someone offered me a jube, I would move forward to take it.
Oh, yeah, me too. You'd have to beat me to it. But basically what I'm doing is I'm saying, those natural inclinations are not going to be rewarded. And I'm simply making the food disappear. Right. So I'm not trying to push the puppy away from the food. I'm not trying to physically stop him from getting the food. Mm-hmm. All I'm going to do is make the food go away. So it's no longer an option for the puppy. Mm-hmm. And then when he says, oh, it's gone, and he sort of backs off from that food, I'm going to open my hand again. Mm-hmm. And of course, he's going to go, ooh, a piece of candy.
Right, yeah.
That's what is that, Family Guy? Ooh, a piece of candy. Ooh, a piece of candy.
I think, yeah.
They're trying to catch James Woods, I think.
Right, yes, in a box, yes.
Anyways, okay, so I've got the food in my hand. I open my hand again, and the puppy sees it, and of course, he's going to go for it, because again, ooh, a piece of candy. Mm-hmm. He goes for it. It goes away again. It no longer is an option if you're impulsive about it.
Right.
You know? And I'm going to keep doing that until the puppy goes, okay, that's not working. And this is the brilliant thing with dogs. They're very tactical, right? If they recognize that one tactic's not working for them, they're going to try another tactic, right? They don't get stuck up on their egos like we do as humans. You know what? This must work. This should work.
Right.
I'm going to keep doing and doing and doing and doing because this end result is different than what I expected. Mm-hmm. So, you know, they're not like that. They will go, okay, well, that's a waste of energy, basically. That's not doing me any good, so I'm going to try something else. So the moment my dog doesn't go for the food, when I make it reappear again, at that point, I'm going to say yes, and I'm going to give him that cookie. So I'm going to reach in, take the cookie out of my hand, deliver it to the dog to let him know that was the choice. That right there. So that's choice work, right? But I have controlled the thing in my hand so that he can't make the wrong choice and get rewarded for it. Mm-hmm. I mean, he can make the wrong choice, but he can't get rewarded for it. Right? So if he goes for the food in my hand and I close my hand, it goes away. That choice didn't work. Mm-hmm. So now I'm narrowing it down, which is what the rule out basically is. I could do the same thing with a toy, right? Mm-hmm. We do this a lot to create toy manners. It's one of the early things that I do with my puppies, right? I'm sure you do it too, right?
Yes.
Okay, talk about that for a bit. How would that look if you were doing it with a toy and creating manners and looking for the better choice?
Well, I never want my dog to jump up and grab and snatch a toy. That's that's dangerous too. If my young child is carrying one of their toys and the puppy perceives it as one of their toys, they could jump up and grab. I remember one time when I was little, one of our dogs jumped up at my grandmother as she was taking off her scarf to grab the scarf.
Oh.
And my grandmother got pushed back up against the wall. And this was when I was a little girl. It was one of my parents' boxers. And right then and there, it's like we realized that dog needs some impulse control.
Yes.
So we want to do that as a safety thing.
Yeah, absolutely.
So we do it in class all the time. We, have the dog sit. They have to wait till we offer the toy before we're going to let them take that toy. Yeah. So snatching is not allowed.
No, and here's the thing. A lot of the times what people think that means is keep the toy away from the dog.
Oh, yeah, and they hold it in the air, and that makes the dog snatch even more, yes.
So here's the thing. You need to set yourself up so that you're in a position to be calm and cool and collected and simply remove that option when they make the wrong choice. Mm-hmm. So in the scenario with toys, what would that look like? What's something that you might do to make sure that your dog can't jump up and snatch that toy?
Well, what I'll do is sometimes I'll work beside a table and I'll move the toy to the table. So I have the toy in my hand. The dog is, I'll be stepping on the dog's leash so he can't jump up. And then I'll move the toy to the table. Now it's out of sight, no longer in my hands, rather than hold it way up in the air. Yeah. So I'm stepping on the leash. The puppy cannot jump up to reward. I have the toy in my hand. When the puppy offers the calm behavior, then I'll give them the toy.
Yeah.
If the puppy's very frantic, I'll hide the toy again. So it's up on the table. Oh, now you got to make your own choice again. So I'm not teasing the dog with the toy, but it
goes away.
It goes away, yeah. and I'm going to step on the leash so the dog can't. My hands aren't controlling them. The dog is saying, "Hey, I'm leaping, but this isn't working. What's going to work?" oh, sitting or standing calmly works to bring the toy down.
Exactly. And that sometimes means we have to be super, super diligent to the point of it's borderline silly.
Right.
But only for a short period of time, right? I just want to make sure my dog never gets rewarded for making this wrong choice and leaping on me to get the toy. So I'm going to take some time to set up the scenario. I'm going to take some time to make sure that I practice these rule out behaviors with him. And first off, I'm going to do it in a quiet environment. So there's not going to be a lot of other stimulus that's going to want to take my dog's attention from me. I'm basically working with the puppy. And I like to take that rule out thing like to the extreme step. So that first step I love with, putting it away, making sure that they don't have access to that reward. Once they start getting that idea in their head, and it might be a couple of sessions. Some pups are really quick to pick up on things. It might only be one session that they start to show some impulse control, at which point you can start to push a little bit more and ask them for more.